Thank you so much for joining us on Africa this morning. It is the 10th of September 2014. I'm Beryl Ooro. Let's start the bulletin with a look at the top stories. Chaos in Githurai. Residents protest the arrest of a police officer accused of killing a suspect. Post-Migori chaos. Leaders condemn the chaos that disrupted President Uhuru Kenyatta's function.
The generalized information as to expenses poses the risk of being misleading. Principle set out in the ruling.
The Hague. Judges dismiss an application seeking the disclosure of witness expenditure. And finally, Somali blast. Al-Shabaab attack kills 12 near Afgoye town. We start here in Nairobi. Residents of Githurai 45 on Wednesday held demonstrations protesting the arrest of a police officer who was arrested after he allegedly shot and killed a man last year. The residents say the police officer had managed to restore security in the area and are demanding his immediate release.
Early morning at the busy Thika Highway. Residents of Githurai are protesting the arrest of a police officer who they claim had managed to restore law and order in the area. A rare scenario since Kenyans have been protesting against police officers accused of carrying out extrajudicial killings, catching many by surprise.
Sasa hizi tulikuwa tumebeba mzigo tunapeleka huko mawe. Sasa sijui hata nikirudi kwa nyumba nitaenda kufanya nini hasa. Sasa mimi unajua hiyo ndio shughuli yenye nafanya, lakini nikipata nini barabara imefungwa hivi na mimi hapo ndio tegemeo langu. Naona huzuni sana. Sasa kama hao wamefanya kitendo kumchukua hivyo nini na nini, hiyo sio mzuri. Juu sasa kwenye mimi narudi sijui nitakuwa namna gani.
The police officer Titus Ngamao Musila, alias Katito, was arrested recently for allegedly shooting and killing Kenneth Kimani Mwangi on Sunday the 14th April 2013. He has already been arraigned in court and his case will be mentioned on September the 16th.
Residents of Githurai 45 here are demonstrating in protest to an arrest that has been made to a policeman they say have been assisting them in arresting those that have been harassing them.
Kuna time ulikuwa unaenda kushukisha abiria, unakuta mama ameanza kupiga nduru. Amenyaganywa kibeti, amenyaganywa simu, kila kitu imenyaganywa. Lakini sasa ametusaidia sana. 3 years tumeona change. Githurai hata wamama wakitoka 44 wakikuja soko, wanakujanga soko mapema sana hapa hivi, kuanzia 5. Hii njia ya 44 kukuja 45, wamama wangepita. So ni lazima wamama wangeongojea kukucha kukue 6 ndio wakuja wapi? Githurai 45.
They claim muggers as well as robbers are having a field day.
At the moment yesterday, M-Pesa 3 zimeipiwa na bunduki. Jana, sababu wanatuambia Katito ameenda. Sasa mjitayarishe kutupatia pesa. Na za hizo unaona kama za hizo zibina kuja kutupika na tunatia ngasema kupika wananchi ama wale watu wengine. Jana kuna watu wamechukua. Usiku ama mwa soko za hizi tunaweza kuhesabu ama kama 10 ama 20. Hawana simu na pesa kwenda sokoni asubuhi ya leo. So without Katito, no peace in Githurai. Na yeye kitu ya kwanza ni mtu wa kupatia watu warning, anakusipia na kuambia wachana hii kazi. Na hiyo bunduki unatumia wacha kutumia. Kama una kazi nyingine wenda utupe mkomaji ama uniletee. Kama huyo jamaa amepatiwa warning mara mingi. Nasikii. Sasa je, wakati Katito amefanya kazi yake, mbona dhulumiwa na ipoa? Mkiangalia Kenya mzima ni safari ya kwanza askari kuandamaniwa na common ni mwananchi.
They claim thugs are daring enough and usually threaten them even during daytime. All they want is for the police and now the courts to set the police officer free.
Lakini yu askari anisaidia. By now I'm crying. Whenever kama yeyote anajua mahali yako akuje tu muone uzo. Juu mimi kama msichana zina mahali pa kutorokea hakuna usalama Githurai, alikuwa anatusaidia.
Kasarani OCPD Augustine Thombe urged Githurai residents to stay calm as the matter is still under investigation.
Alikuwa suspected of murder, na ndio maana alishikwa, and so he was taken before court and is now under investigation. So now that the matter is before court, siwezi kuanza kudiscuss hiyo kwa saa hii. It is true, kwa muda mrefu sasa, kama miaka mitatu sasa, this officer, although a junior officer, was charged with the responsibilities of ensuring security within Githurai 45, the Zimmerman areas, and the Githurai Kimbo. And since he's quite an efficient officer, quite devoted, he has been able to make sure that at least wananchi are comfortable.
The Independent Policing Oversight Authority is also investigating whether the same police officer was involved in the shooting of Kimani's brother last month. For Ooro African News, I'm Miriam Kanyugo.
The chaos that led to the disruption of a presidential function in Migori on Monday has continued to elicit reactions from across the political divide. While members of the Jubilee coalition want CORD leader Raila Odinga to apologize, a section of politicians from Migori County blamed local politics and urged the president not to shun the area. Akisa Vendera has more.
In the wake of Monday's chaos in Migori County that saw rowdy youths heckle and throw chairs at the presidential dais, disrupting the function, several legislators have come out strongly to condemn the action.
Vitendo hiyo nafikiri tukiwa wa Kenya tumepita hiyo kiango ya kutupa mawe na kutupa maviti.
Their action, in our opinion, is outdated, uncivilized, barbaric, disrespectful, and above all unacceptable to the person and the institution of the presidency.
I don't think there is anything, there's a bigger thing to say. We're very sorry about it. And we condemn it in the strongest terms possible.
Twashutumu ile tabia ambayo tuliona jana kule upande wa Migori, ambapo viongozi wanapanga vijana wachache waende waharibu mkutano wa wengi.
Members of Parliament from Migori County were first to take the stage, acutely condemning the chaos. The MPs, led by Uriri MP John Kobado, came out to explain that the president was only caught in local political crossfires and that the chaos were not targeting him. Terming the act as retrogressive, the legislators urged President Uhuru not to ignore the county in development matters due to the incident.
The president was caught in the crossfires of local politics. And of course, as leaders, we are regretting that that had to happen when the president was there.
We also urge our people to always approach any local differences in the civil manner that has made our great county stand out as a cosmopolitan and fast developing county in the past.
However, Jubilee politicians differed with the Migori County leaders, led by the leader of majority in the National Assembly, Aiden Duale. The leaders referred to the chaos as choreographed hooliganism intended to embarrass the head of state. They now want a public apology from opposition leader Raila Odinga, owing to the fact that he leads ODM and Migori is his political backyard.
We have absolutely no doubt as a coalition that what we saw in Migori was choreographed hooliganism intended primarily to embarrass the head of state and head of government, and nothing can be far from the truth.
Whether it was local or at a higher level, I want to take the blame to where it should be, to the highest leadership of that political party, ODM. Because everybody was chanting, the other were chanting in the name of ODM. And therefore, it's imperative that the Honorable Raila Odinga gives a public apology, just like the Secretary General of the party did yesterday. He is the party leader and blame goes to him.
We want to...
Duale said Raila and ODM leaders should be held responsible as opposed to using local politics as a scapegoat.
Those trying to blame local politics for the behavior we saw yesterday are merely scapegoating, because the president and his entourage, including the governor of Migori, had very peaceful and good receptions on their way to this meeting.
President Uhuru was presiding over the launch of an exercise to kickstart the distribution of mosquito nets as part of the anti-malaria campaign. 5 people have so far been arrested in relation to the chaos.
ICC judges have dismissed an application by the defense in the case against Deputy President William Ruto and journalist Joshua Rapsang, seeking to force the victims and witness unit to disclose the amount of money paid to witnesses. Judge Ebue Osuji, in his ruling, said such disclosure is risky.
Principle set out in the ruling.
Deputy President William Ruto and Joshua Sang's defense wanted to use the disclosure to show that the witness was bribed to fix the accused. The judge, however, ruled against them, saying that though the defense wanted the expenditure released in a generalized way to protect the identity of the witness, allowing such a plea would have exposed the victim and witness unit.
The generalized information as to expenses poses the risk of being misleading. That prospect also is not acceptable to the chamber. For the foregoing reasons, and based on the information currently before it, the chamber rejects the request for disclosure of expenditure by the VWU.
After the ruling, prosecution lawyer Anton Steinberg continued cross-examining the witness, who maintains he lied to investigators.
Did you want to come and testify voluntarily again?
Yeah, because I wanted to come and tell the court the truth.
What truth is that?
That what I had given in the statement was false.
Asked why he changed his mind and agreed to testify after recanting his statement, the witness told the court he consulted his priest, who advised him to appear before the court and set the record straight.
So, you just told the court that you wanted to come and tell this chamber the truth as of the 18th of July. But yet, when you were due to travel on the 10th of to meet VWU on the 10th of August in order to travel to The Hague, you didn't arrive. What made you change your mind?
I had to consult my religious leader, who is a priest. And then I informed him that sometimes back last year, I made a group of investigators whereby I had to give them a false statement. So after wide consultation with the religious leader, he told me that it is not good for you to testify which things which are false. It is better you say the truth so that the truth will set you free.
Lawyer Karim Khan, however, raised concern that the prosecution was engaging in sideshows instead of proving to the court that the initial evidence adduced by the witness was true.
We've been really going around the houses. The witness has said repeatedly about the role that the lady, he says, played, about being recruited and what was said. And my learned friend, to keep going back to a point where the bench have more than sufficient evidence to make assessments on that issue, on that particular issue, really is becomes irrelevant questioning in our respectful submission.
Still on Kenya, Kenya will donate 87 million shillings to Sierra Leone, Guinea and Liberia to help in the fight against Ebola. President Kenyatta said the donation is in line with Kenya's foreign policy on African solidarity.
The World Health Organization identified Kenya as a high-risk area for the deadly Ebola outbreak since its major transport hub in the region. The World Health Organization identified Kenya as a high-risk area for the deadly Ebola outbreak since it's a major transport hub in the region. This led to the suspension of flights to some parts of West African region by the national carrier Kenya Airways. President Ooro Kenyatta has been urging the world not to shun people of West Africa, and he has today joined other world leaders in contributing to the response against the virus, which has killed at least 2,000 people in West Africa and DRC Congo. He has assured that the border surveillance will continue to ensure Kenyans are protected from Ebola.
To academic matters here in Kenya, teachers claim the government has neglected students with special needs in the country. According to the Kenya National Union of Teachers Secretary General William Sosion, the government should introduce free special education and change the current curriculum.
1 minute. Kuna shida.
The Kenya National Union of Teachers is accusing the government of absconding its duty to ensure children with special needs get an education. Mudonzili, the union's chairperson, says time has come for special education to be prioritized in the country.
There is no reason why our learners in special education institutions shall continue to be disadvantaged by funding. Special education institutions and special education must be adequately and sufficiently funded so that the learners in that sector can enjoy.
The government, the union says, has been in office for almost 1.5 years now, but has failed when it comes to funding of the special education subsector. NAT Secretary General Wilson Sosion says most children with special needs are out of school, locked away in their homes.
Kindly accept. We still have a big number of special needs education learners who are suffering from exclusion. Either they are being hidden behind homes by families, or families are completely unable to get specialized education opportunities for them.
The union leaders will be writing a concept paper to the Ministry of Education. Among the things they want looked at is the infrastructure and equipment at special schools and their monitoring and evaluation system, which they claim is not strong enough.
We do not have a strong monitoring and evaluation system in place. This is an ignored. If you look at special units, where these learners are kept, learners with autism, with so many complications, there is no government officer who has the courage to visit and even do an assessment and evaluation.
The Kenya National Union of Teachers will also be partnering with the Kenya Society for the Deaf to ensure there is enough personnel in the special education schools. To kickstart their partnership with the Deaf Society, NAT issued a check worth 100,000 Kenya shillings to sponsor a deaf girl to Machakos Teachers Training College.
I think God has been so good on my side, and I'm so happy, very much happy.
And to health matters, First Lady Margaret Kenyatta has so far acquired 20 mobile clinics through her Beyond Zero campaign. Some of the clinics have been delivered to Taita Taveta, Narok, Samburu, Homa Bay and Baringo counties. She made this revelation during the First Lady's half-marathon sponsors breakfast at State House in Nairobi.
Inspired by the progress made in reducing new HIV infections in children, the First Lady launched the Beyond Zero campaign to improve on the gains made in reducing maternal and child deaths in the country. And Kenyans embraced the idea, donating in kind and cash.
Throughout our history, Kenyans have pulled together. I have felt the power of that tradition in my advocacy for Beyond Zero. The generosity of the Kenyans has overwhelmed me. Everywhere I have been, I have met willing helpers, willing givers, and willing partners.
She has so far donated 5 mobile clinics and will soon deliver one to Isiolo. She is urging more Kenyans to join her in maintaining the momentum so that remaining 27 counties can also get mobile clinics.
Although we know the severe difficulties that Kenyan women and children face, especially in childbirth, we now have the opportunity to radically improve their lives.
Health Cabinet Secretary James Macharia says the mobile clinics will make healthcare accessible to more Kenyans.
Because in Kenya we have two key problems in terms of the health sector, in particular maternal, newborn and child health. The first one is that we are dealing with vast regions, especially the north and northeastern. So this kind of intervention by the First Lady, whereby there will be a mobile hospital in that county, in that constituency, it will go a long way in terms of saving lives.
The First Lady received donations from the corporate world as well as other Kenyans of goodwill.
At this point, we'll take a short break, but we'll be back with more stories from Kenya, Africa, and the international front.